But branding is about perception. Marketing is about promoting that perception.
Love it.
So don't run out there and start marketing when you don't even know what it is you're marketing. What perception are you trying to create with that marketing, okay?
Welcome to Be Bold Branding, where we discuss the power of differentiating yourself through your own unique story and standout personal brand.
Hello.
You're alive.
Hey, is your brand putting your business at risk? That is a thought-provoking question today, okay? And during my 30 years of experience, 30 plus.
She started when she was 6.
I did, yeah, and a half. I've noticed that the majority of business owners who fail underestimate the effect that their brand has on their business. Most of them think marketing is the problem. But today, you're going to see why the problem is not your marketing. The problem is usually your brand.
Yep. There's 5 mistakes that the majority of entrepreneurs make with their brand, and I have made every one of them, all of these. Same mistakes over and over and over again. And thank goodness I learned how to do it right 9 years ago from this lovely lady right here. And I'm certain that had I not learned it, there's no way my company probably wouldn't exist today. And I know beyond a shadow of a doubt, I wouldn't be a 7-year figure earner year over year over year if it was not for the principles that we teach y'all every day about it. And these 5 mistakes are big. They're critical.
Yep. Let's start with mistake number 1. Those other people, the ones that failed, they did not specialize, okay? In other words, they didn't choose a specific type of customer to serve or a specific business niche, right? And when you don't do that, well, we look at it like this. If you try to help everyone, you'll help yourself right out of business because everyone does not see you as special. Everyone does not see you as the answer, right? If you don't specialize, you're not very special. Believe me, I came to that point in my life that actually launched why BrandFace exists today, right? I was sitting in my office one day and realized anybody that walks through that door, I can do business with because I was doing so many things. Mm-hmm. That was great, right? You know what the terrible part about it was? Anybody who walked through that door, I could do business with. What that meant is I was no longer special. I was no longer reserved for something cool, right? And I don't like being uncool. Okay. So they didn't specialize. And that is one of the biggest mistakes that they can make in business. And we're going to talk about why this relates to your brand.
Yeah. I mean, I think that deserves just a little bit more talk for just a second, right? Because we talk with people all over the country in other countries that are also entrepreneurs, and they all have the same thought process. And it's the same thought process that I have had before too. Yeah, you need to niche it down, guys. It's very important that you specialize in something and you go after that person that fits that specialization and then move into other specializations. If you go out here and you say, I'm just going to do business with everybody, like Tanya said, you're going to get bogged down with the people you don't want to do business with, and you're not going to be able to do business with the people that should be doing business with because you're too busy doing business with the people that you should not be doing business with, all because you did not specialize.
Did you get all that?
It's serious. I'm serious. It is literally serious. I was in an industry before, in the auction industry. I knew a guy even back then, $200,000 a year plus, year over year over year. He told me, I'm quitting the auction business, the circuit auction business. I said, why are you doing that? And he goes, well, I just lost out on a $70,000 commission, one commission. And he said, because I wasn't in my office, I was here trying to make a couple of grand. And it began to dawn on me, but it was still 15 years later, 18 years later before I really began to say, you know what, I'm making the same mistake over and over and over again. And I didn't get to 7 figures a year until I started specializing. All right. Number 2, people don't have a unique message. I can't tell you how important this is. Again, learned it from Tanya. It speaks directly to their ideal customer and positions them as the only solution those customers are seeking. And that is exactly what you want. right? You have to educate your clients. You have to talk to your clients, but you don't get the chance to in this world of everything is big if you don't have that unique message and know who you're talking to so you know what to say to them.
And let me give you a great example of somebody that is just nailed numbers 1 and 2, meaning they specialize and they have this very unique message. Not only Michael, who's raising his hand over here, hoping that I'm going to pick him. Well, just like
Pick me.
Just like dodgeball in middle school, I'm not picking Michael because I didn't get picked and I'm still bitter about it. But just kidding about that. But, well, no, I didn't get picked very often because I wanted to get out as soon as possible because I didn't want to get slammed in the face with a dodgeball. You know, you guys know what that feels like. Okay, so when it comes to an ideal customer, like honing in, having that niche and creating a unique message. We're working with a client right now who is known as a full-time travel coach. She's an incredible human being. She's traveled all over the world. Now, think about that for a moment. She's not a travel coach. She's not a typical travel coach. She does not work with people to say, okay, I want to help you plan out your vacation to Italy. Let me tell you the places to go and the transportation and the food and all that kind of stuff. She actually works with people who seek to either work remotely for the rest of their life, right, and be able to travel while they do it, or completely move away from work and just travel. And that's what she specializes in. And
the only people she works with.
Exactly. Think about this for a moment. She came up with this business idea right before COVID hit, literally like a couple of months before. Her business was decimated for a little while. Okay. Now it's more important than ever because she continued to stay mainstream with it. She continued her purpose. And now she is in a prime position because guess what the pandemic did for all of us, guys? It really helped us realize what's important in life, that we don't want to be behind a corporate desk the rest of our lives. We want to do something. We want to do something different with our lives. We want them to have more meaning. Now she's in a perfect position. We're working with her on her brand right now, and I can't wait to unveil it for you guys when we get it ready to go. But that's a great example.
It's a great example. Yeah. It's also a great example of success in a business during a pandemic that dealt with travel. Yeah. Not only just travel, but people that were only going to travel. Think about that. Right. That is an incredible success story. And we could not be happier to help her build that out because she gets the concept.
She totally gets that concept. Okay, number 3. They did not have a clear message that makes what they offer and why they offer it simple to understand and get behind. Notice there's a difference in a unique message, right? Which means I've got a message to share and something to offer that no one else has. This is talking about a clear message because you can have the most unique message in the world, but if it's so jumbled up you can't even explain it, well, you might as well stay home.
Right.
Because nobody's going to get it. You cannot have a complicated message out there in this world, okay? That's part of your brand and that's what your brand's designed to do.
Yep. You got to have that clear message. I saw a billboard one time for a guy selling real estate, and it was like 1-800-HEY-JEFF. And that's all it said. I wonder what Jeff does. I don't know what Jeff does. Like, and for a month, I didn't know what Jeff did.
It is compelling because you really want to just like look it up. But what if?
But it wasn't enough. And then the next billboard that I saw, though, had a full explanation, like a book, about what he did and everything. And I thought, you know what? If he could just get that down concise, then
marry those two
together. Get you a unique message to stop people's thought process, and then a clear message of a call to action. Now you make it money.
And imagine how many of those phone calls he fielded by people who just were interested in who's Hey Jeff.
Yeah, right? I know. Right?
Because imagine that's a colossal waste of time when in a world where we're trying to work smarter, not harder.
Mm-hmm.
Now he might have just liked to talk to people. We don't know what his, but if Jeff's goal was to talk to people, he nailed it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's exactly right. And, you don't want a lot of stagnant noise. Look, I went to a church one time back in the day, okay? And we had this building project. We bought this old grocery store, and we're going to retrofit it, right? And so they take the logo and they take the website and they put it on a big sign out there, but they don't have anything else associated with it. Nothing else, no religious symbols, no crosses, nothing that you would even know, right? And in the first week, they got 10,000 hits on the website. People want to know what it was. Right? Church never grew. went out of business, in fact, years later and broke up. The point that I'm making with this is you can get a lot of people through some kind of tricky way to say, what is this about? But you don't have any meat on the, and the potatoes that go with it. There's no substance to it whatsoever. And when there's no substance to it, guys, they're not going to stick with you. And that's what you got to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Let me add to that just one second, because in the radio industry where I grew up, I spent 18 years in the radio world. I noticed this happening quite often with radio stations. You guys have no doubt heard this if you grew up in the broadcast radio world at all. You've heard build it and they will come.
Oh, yeah.
Build it and they will come. In fact, some people went on the air to do a format change and would do nothing but just repeat it. Build it and they will come. Build it and they will come. And of course they did. They came in droves. Like, it's just like Michael talking about, it was a stampede. But think about that. You're attracting everyone just out of curiosity. And then what's left behind is still only the people who want what you're offering. So why not just dial it in from the very beginning and not waste your time and effort?
Do not let those people distract you from taking care of your clients.
That's very true. Very true.
All right. Number 4. Hey, they did not present an image that aligns with the ideal customer and their unique message. This is very, very, very important.
Yep.
If you want for your own photo shoot, like if you want to come across as very sincere and nice and happy, you need to present that. If that's your message, if that's what you're writing about, you need to present that. It needs to match. A picture's worth 1,000 words.
Or adventurous or
but
intellectual.
It needs to be the right words,
right,
and the right picture. If it's if those things are incongruent, people are just they don't have time. They just something's off and I'm gone.
Yeah.
Right.
One of our agents in Ohio did a photo shoot with her motorcycle. And I thought that was really unique. And she was actually a real estate professional and would ride this motorcycle, weather permitting, to all her closings and showings and things like that. And she was really known for that. So we wanted to incorporate that into her brand. And that's one of the ways we did that, because that image now matched the kind of personality and the kind of message she wanted her clients to know about her. So that's what we're talking about. Just one example of making sure that image matches what you're trying to, the message you're putting out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Number 5 reason that your brand can derail your business. Okay. They did not consistently display a compelling message and image across all of their marketing. Okay. Let me repeat that. They did not consistently display. Okay. You can have the greatest brand in the world, but if you don't consistently put it out there, then what's the point, right? What's the point? It's kind of like, as we say here, a lot of times you set up for this elaborate party. You've got the best food and wine and flowers everywhere.
Like one of our parties.
Exactly. One of our parties. But you don't send out invitations. Something's wrong, right? Somebody's not going to show.
You can't wonder why nobody showed up if you don't do it.
That's true. But here's the most important thing to know from today is all 5 of those mistakes are related directly to your brand, not your marketing.
Absolutely. Yep. Your brand is what gives you direction on where to market and what to put into that marketing, like your message and your visuals that we talked about. And this part of the equation goes wrong. It's like heading for vacation on Italy, but your GPS is set on the North Pole, right? You won't get there.
You can't get there from here.
Well, I mean, I guess
you can, but you won't get where you want to go.
Right. I guess if you left somewhere south of there, you would come up. You know what I mean? What's that, North Africa right below them or something? I mean, but that's the only way, because, if your GPS is set in the wrong direction, you're not headed in the right direction. And that's a real problem. And again, it's a problem that I had for a long time. And every time somebody tells me that marketing does not work, I say, yes, it does. You're not doing it right. You don't have a brand that gives you direction. And one more thing to direction, it also defines what you do every day. So any of you who are out there and you're like, well, I'm twiddling thumbs and I sent out 10,000 postcards and nobody's called me and I don't have any business, then really and truly, that's where you got a problem. That's where your consistency is. And you don't have a brand that tells you what to do tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day. It'll really give you direction if you put some thought into it.
That's very true. And let's put this in perspective, right? keep in mind that branding is about perception. Marketing is about promoting that perception.
Love it.
So don't run out there and start marketing when you don't even know what it is you're marketing. What perception are you trying to create with that marketing? Okay. All right. So if you need help with that, head to discussyourbrand.com and we can talk about your brand and what we can do to help you get where you need to be and frankly, where you deserve to be. Discussyourbrand.com.
It's easy peasy, guys. And we bring big value to you just like this every week. Please tap the subscribe button, follow us along so you're the first to know. I'll even pause for a minute and let you do it. Click, 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 click. Let's do it, guys, because honestly, we got good information for you. I've been a serial entrepreneur all of my life. I've really achieved the success that I wanted in the past 9 years being a part of BrandFace and learning what branding does for your marketing. Let us teach you what that'll do for you. And then also, guys, we do this for prosperity. And when we say prosperity, we're not just talking about money. That's just a part of it. We're talking about a true 360-degree abundant life that we really want for every one of y'all. And we know that prosperity favors the bold. So we say, be bold, folks. Especially with your brand, especially in 2022, especially when gas is over $5 a gallon. And thank you, Miss Tanya. We appreciate everything that you do.
Thank you, guys. All right, guys, have a great rest of your day.
Bye, guys.
Brought to you by BrandFace, the only comprehensive personal brand building system across the globe.